Hello again. Today is Tuesday, the 7th of September, and the liturgy of the church on this 23rd week, or this Tuesday of the 23rd week, invites us to look at this Psalm 145. Psalm 145, and the response that we're invited to ponder on today is the Lord is compassionate toward all his works. The Lord is compassionate towards all his works, meaning all of us who are his creation, and those he has created, that he continues creating and recreating. He's very compassionate. Compassion meaning he suffers with. He suffers for, and he suffers with that work of continual creation and recreation in our lives. So let's take a look at the psalm itself in order to pray with this verse with more depth today. The psalmist begins by saying, I will extol you, O my God and King, and I will bless your name forever and ever. Every day will I bless you, and I will praise your name forever and ever. So the beginning of this psalm once again invites us to bless God who is our God. You know, as we said the other day, let God be God. Remember that he is your God. Bless him. So every day we are invited, as the psalm says, to bless God with our lives. And it's like what we say in the beginning of the Mass. You know? With my thoughts, I will bless God. With my words, I will bless God. With what I do, I will bless God. And with what I choose not to do in order to bless God as well. So how beautiful to start the day and to start throughout the day saying, Lord, I bless you. I bless you in my heart. I bless you with my thoughts. I want to bless you with what I do and what I say as well. And what does not bless you, help me not to do this day. So this disposition again of blessing God throughout the day. Now, as the psalm progresses, it changes a little bit the tone in the sense that it shows us why we should bless God, or at least why the psalmist chooses to bless God, because of his own experience of the following. He says, the Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness. It's beautiful, and I invite you today just to ponder a little bit on these four adjectives or four descriptions of God. The Lord is gracious, he is merciful, he is slow to anger, he is patient, and he has great kindness. He is immensely kind to us. How wonderful this day to try to kind of update our opinions of God. How is God? What is the true face of God? And this psalmist, by his experience, invites us also to ponder our experience. In other words, the psalmist is saying, God has been gracious to me. God has been merciful to me. God has been patient with me. And God has been immensely kind to me. Would you be able to say that? How about making an exercise of faith today to say these words, but with consciousness of how God has been to you? How has God been gracious to me, merciful, and shown me mercy when I needed it in my imperfections? He was slow to anger. He was patient. He doesn't punish. He doesn't get upset. But he has a huge amount of patience with my imperfections and my failures. He has been immensely kind by all the good things he has done for me in my life. The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness. Now the next little verse there goes further, which is the response that we are invited to ponder on today. It says, "The Lord is good to all and compassionate toward all his works." And as I was saying, compassion, if we break up the word and go to the root of the meaning, com means with, passion means suffering. So when we say that the Lord is compassionate, so a part of being gracious and merciful, apart from being patient with us and kind to us, this psalmist says that the Lord suffers with us. And he suffers with us because we are his creation. We are his precious works of art. Have you met an artist and seen how they treat their artworks? There was once I was very ignorant. No, I was going to a museum, looking at an art piece, and I didn't realize in this museum the artist was there. And I started to comment about that artwork, and my goodness, he came with so much protection, seeing how preciously he treated his artwork and valued it because he made it. We are God's works of art. He made us, he created us, and he suffers with us when we suffer. You know, we are works in progress to become saints, to become holy like him. And many times our sufferings are a continual work of God in our lives. Even if in our sicknesses, even in our difficulties at work and unemployment, even in the moments when life is challenging, we are invited to allow God to continue creating us in order to be his works in the world. What do I mean? You know, I'm not sure if you've watched this movie or read this book called Tuesdays with Morrie. Tuesdays with Morrie, about a man who was dying, and his ex-student came to visit him in order to accompany him. And it was very amazing how this man, when he had this degenerative disease that was gradually eating up all his capacities, his mobility, he said, "This is not a time to stop teaching." He was a teacher. It's not a time to stop teaching. And even while I feel I know I am dying, I'm going to teach. I'm going to show people how to live this part of life. Because life is not only in the good moments, life still happens in the bad moments. And we all are God's works to show others how life can still be beautiful in the midst of suffering. When we have God with us, when we allow God to suffer with us, to show compassion with us in our lives. How different it is to see God and to realize that life is always a gift and needs to be shared. And in this movie, if you've watched it or read the book, it's so beautiful to see that the way he lived his illness allowed people to enjoy his presence right till the end. And he left a mark on them and gave them all the opportunities to reconcile, to love him, to say the eulogies before he was gone, and etc. So the Lord is good, and he shows us compassion because he knows we are still works in progress, and he knows that our sufferings are not easy to go through, and he wants to continue accompanying us and showing how he loves us and to give us hope and strength as he continues to work in us. And at the end, the psalmist says, "Let all your works give you thanks, O Lord, and let your faithful ones bless you." I like this word, let. Let them discourse of the glory of your kingdom and speak of your might. It says here, let your faithful ones bless you. So in the midst of our suffering, Lord, enable us to continue blessing you. Because, you know, Lord, it's so difficult. Lord, it can be so difficult to bless you in the middle of our sufferings. So let your works, this continuous work you're doing in us, to be examples of life to other people who might also be suffering. How many people need good examples to continue living life with hope, with strength, with confidence because of the God who is with them. Lord, let us bless you. And Lord, let us bless others too. Let us bless others with your presence because we bless you. You know, I'm sure all of us have met people, um, not just with this story of Maury, but many others who, after they have passed on, who, after they have left in that sense, they are still somehow present with us. And they leave behind to us something permanent. And our Christian faith tells us that something permanent is God Himself. I invite all the parents also to think about this. What is it that you can really leave behind to your children that will remind them of you, that will make you present to them, and that will give all your strength, your hopes, your aspirations to remain with them? Really, when we give them God, when we bless God with our lives, we help them to realize that in their lives, God will always be with them. And this is the mystery of our Christian faith. When they have God, they will also feel that we are so close to them, like the saints. We talk to the saints as if they're just here because they were in God and they have shown us how to be in God and that all of us are always united in God. So today, once again, let us begin this day blessing God, asking the grace to bless Him in everything, and to realize that if we are suffering somehow during this time of our lives, that God suffers with us and that He continues to do something in us. And we need to ask Him, Lord, help me to be a blessing today still to others in the situation I find myself, because I know that your love is unlimited. I know that you are infinite, you are merciful, you are kind, and you want me to continue blessing them through my life.